So, Kathy, how are you? I know you just came back from an incredible trip a few weeks
Yeah,
ago.
yeah, I'm doing good. Yeah, I just got back about 6 weeks ago, or maybe just a little less than that from Antarctica. It was incredible, life changing for sure. I actually am going to show a few pictures from that. Hopefully, you don't mind. I'm not the best
Not at all.
photographer, but I was very impressed with how well my iPhone actually captured some awesome animal pics when I was there.
I think for nowadays we don't longer need a fully professional camera when we have our iPhones, right?
For
When
sure.
I mean,
And I think the landscape in Antarctica, you can just any direction, hold your phone up, point and shoot, and you have a beautiful picture. It's just incredible.
I can only imagine what a beautiful place it is. Actually, that's my bucket list destination. Hopefully, I can make it this year. I think
Yeah, that's
nowadays
great.
we have really good rates, and I know Atlas has an incredible experience when you go to Antarctica. And so we're going to talk a little bit about Antarctica. We're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about an amazing deal that we have going on right now. That it's going to be open to our private list, and we want everyone to hear about it because definitely a no-brainer deal.
For sure.
So I want to know if people here have been to Antarctica in the past or they're looking forward to going there. We'll be launching polls shortly as well. If you have ever sailed with Atlas Voyages, if you're looking forward to it, if you ever done business with Luxury Cruise Connections, we want to hear you guys. So it's 3:01. We're going to get started. I know a lot of people are going to be joining us anytime now. Um, I'm going to present myself. I'm Denise Pomeran, Marketing Manager at Luxury Cruise Connections. Our CEO, who usually is the host for these meetings, is no longer, he cannot join us today, but I will be replacing him. I have big shoes to fill in. But I'm sure that we're going to be amazing here. So you're gonna see right next to our names here, everyone at Luxury Cruise Connections has # Luxury Cruise Connections. So you're gonna see all of our amazing travel advisors, concierge departments joining us as well. So if you have any questions, you can feel free to contact us directly, privately through the chat, or just post your questions in the chat as well. We'll be answering them as soon as the presentation finishes. We have Kathy Kusuma from Atlas Ocean Voyages presenting us today an amazing 20-minute presentation about Atlas, about the destination, and an exclusive no-brainer deal that you will want to take advantage of because it's exclusive to Luxury Cruise Connections clients, and it's open to us for a very limited time.
For sure. Are we ready to jump right in?
Sure. Go ahead, Kathy. We can jump into it. I don't know if you want to start presenting.
Yeah, so I'll go ahead and share my screen and get that set up. And let me know if you can see it. Everybody see the screen itself?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Awesome. Well, thanks, Denise, and thanks to Luxury Cruise Connections for supporting Atlas Ocean Voyages and allowing us to present to you guys today. It's super exciting whenever we get to partner with a great company like Luxury Cruise Connections to talk about our product. We've been great partners since we started, which hasn't been that long ago because Atlas Ocean Voyages is a pretty new product. And so I wanted to give you a little bit of background information on who we are and where we go. And we'll talk in detail about some of our destinations, specifically some of our Antarctica trips as well. And then we'll get into some specials that we've got going with Luxury Cruise Connections. Because we partner so closely with them, we actually have exclusive offers just through this travel agency, which is an amazing thing. And we want to talk a little bit more about that as well. So we'll just hop right in. There's a lot of people that have heard of Atlas because we've done a lot of advertising and we've been out and about, and you may have seen us in Condé Nast Traveler, or possibly Travel and Leisure magazine, or if you've been to New York City anytime soon, or in the last couple of months, we've actually have a billboard ad running in Times Square as well. So we've been doing some consumer advertising, but the majority of our advertising is done through partners like Luxury Cruise Connections. So we are really dedicated to that travel advisor community. We really do appreciate all of our travel advisors, because it does take an expert to really sell the destination, and we really appreciate all of the knowledge that they can help put forth and studying they can do to provide that information to you. So Atlas Ocean Voyages, like I said, is a fairly new brand. We call ourselves Luxe Adventure. We use the term luxe specifically instead of luxury, because we don't want to come across as stuffy and overly formal. We are definitely a very casual atmosphere on board. We have all of the 5-star amenities and appointments that you would find on any other luxury line. However, we're in a much more casually elegant setting. There are no formal nights on board. There are no set dining times, except sometimes in Antarctica when we're trying to get people in and out of Zodiacs with their set groups. But otherwise, it's all open seating. And again, a really, really awesome experience for that traveler who likes the finer things in life, a little bit of upscale travel and cruising, but they don't want the fuss, and they don't want to dress up, and they don't necessarily want the over-the-top, stuffy, formal, white glove type service. We have amazing top-notch service, but it is more friendly and approachable. The ship is absolutely beautiful. We've actually got 5 ships that will be joining us. It'll have a total of 5 by the end of 2024. One is currently sailing. Our second ship is joining us about mid-year this year, which will be great. And we'll start sailing in Antarctica in November with us. And then we're going to introduce at least 1 new ship a year, 2 in a couple of years. So we've got a pretty aggressive ship schedule there. We do talk about adventure being one of our big elements as well. Adventure is something that we're really kind of proud of, because people are very attracted to our itineraries because they're off the beaten path. We go to remote destinations. About half of the year, about 6 months of the year, we sail all over the world. And the other half of the year, we actually switch gears and we do full-on Antarctica expeditions. So it's a really super exciting opportunity for people to join us pretty much anywhere in the world. But by the time we have all 5 ships in the water, by the end of 2024, we will be covering all 4 corners of the globe, which is great. We do offer some of the exciting things you see on the screen right now. We have some shore excursions out there that have hang gliding and rock climbing and dune buggy rides in the desert and hot air balloon rides, you name it. We've got some more adventurous type excursions available, but don't let that scare you off, because we definitely have something for everyone. We have your more traditional overview tours, cultural and historical options, as well as some fun culinary experiences. We really do put a huge emphasis on the destination and want to make sure that you're there to not just have a great time, but also soak in the culture and the history and do some fun and exciting things to make memories along the way as well. So I mentioned before that we are an upscale line, but we also are all-inclusive on board our ships as well. So we include everything that you see on the screen right now in all of our journeys. There are some differences between what we call internally warm water destinations, which means anything other than Antarctica, and Antarctica. So your gourmet international cuisine is obviously completely included. If you have any alternative dining options on board, which we do in non-Antarctica destinations, we have a really nice steakhouse option. Those are all included, so there's no additional charge for that. Unlimited beer, wine, and spirits on board is provided. We are a green ship, so we do use reusable bottles, and you can fill that up with either sparkling or still water. And your cabin attendant, of course, will bring those to you every day as well. Gratuities are fully included. If you have a suite with us, butler service is included, and that is definitely something to enjoy. It'll spoil you, and you'll never want to cruise again without one. We also include the standard Wi-Fi service, or the standard introductory Wi-Fi package. So if you're just keeping in touch with your relatives via messaging or emails, as long as you're not uploading a lot of photos and videos or streaming videos, it's a great package. If you want to stream and you want to download and upload a lot of videos and photos, we do have options for you to adjust those as well. We also have L'Occitane, which is a really amazing smelling products, soaps and lotions. We have all of that available in each of our guest stateroom bathrooms. And we also partner with L'Occitane for our sea spa as well. So L'Occitane is a really luxurious product that we're very happy to partner with. In our warm water destinations, we do offer kayaks, paddleboards, and jet skis that are complimentary. It's all based on the weather, of course, but we do have those available for our guests to take advantage of when possible. In Antarctica, however, we do offer some unique things. So one is a round trip charter airfare from Buenos Aires to Ushuaia. Now our Antarctica season is from November through March. So included in the price is that round trip charter from Buenos Aires to Ushuaia. You can make your own way to Buenos Aires. We do have pre and post packages that will become available here very shortly. So you can take advantage of visiting South America and actually 2 continents on your big journey down to Antarctica. Also for Antarctica and our Arctic cruises, because we do visit the Arctic for those expeditions in the summertime, we provide fully guided expeditions. This includes ice cruises and landings, shoreside landings as well. You hear the barking in the back? That's my little puppy. I can go let him out of his cage and see if maybe he'll be quiet. Hang on 2 seconds. That's the beauty of working from home. All right, be quiet, puppy. We're trying to talk about important stuff here. So for Antarctica, again, we include all of our fully guided expeditions. Our ice cruises and our landings are fully included in the price with our expedition team. And so we have 12 Zodiacs on board where we can have up to 10 guests plus your guide in those Zodiacs. And they will fully guide and take you around. I just experienced Antarctica, like I said, just a few weeks ago, and it really was the most incredible experience ever. And I really encourage you, if that's a destination that you're interested in visiting, you've got to try it. It's a really absolutely beautiful, serene place to go. All other destinations, we include one special event. So all destinations other than Antarctica, where we include all of those fully guided tours, we include one special shoreside event for the entire ship. Now, our ships are small, less than 200 guests, so we will have some specific events. So, for example, if we're docked in Alexandria, Egypt, we will put together a laser light show at the pyramids of Giza. And that will be exclusive just for our guests, and it'll be a really fun event. That's just kind of an example. So it really depends on your itinerary, but once per cruise, we'll have a really nice exclusive event for everyone on board that's included in the price as well. And of course, we include emergency evacuation and return insurance for every single guest for every single cruise. That's part of your cruise fare. Because we go to a lot of unique destinations and that are remote, like Antarctica, in the event that there is a medical emergency on board that cannot be taken care of by the doctors and nurses on board, this actually pays for the transportation cost to get you from the ship to the closest destination for medical treatment and then back home. So it's a really good peace of mind element. You'll find that most expedition companies will require you to purchase this, but we actually include it in the price just to make it a little bit easier for you. So what's big about our small ship? Well, this is World Navigator. She is a beauty. We max out at about 186 guest double occupancy in our warm water or non-Antarctica destinations. And we only fill the ship to 172 guests while we're in Antarctica. We do this because we want to set aside some of our staterooms for our expedition team in Antarctica. We bring on a large team, so that's why there's fewer guests on board, because we do use those staterooms for your experience and bringing on our experts. Depending on the itinerary itself and how many guests are on board, we have generally a 1 to 1.5 crew to guest ratio. So again, that excellent service that you're looking for. We have a total of 93 balcony and suite accommodations on board. So again, pretty small ship. I liken it very much to a river cruise type experience, except you're on the ocean. That's the kind of feel that the ship has. It has 2 main lounges plus an auditorium where we have all kinds of fun stuff that take place on board the cruises. We do have entertainment on board the ship. It's not your Broadway style entertainment. We're not large enough for that, but we do some cabaret style entertainment in our dome lounge. We do have a pianist, so we do offer music in the evenings and throughout the day at times, depending on the itinerary. And we do little pop-up venues. Some of them are entertainment related, some are culinary related. So every cruise is a little bit unique depending on the itinerary and how many sea days we have and what kind of evening activities we provide. Up on deck 7, we have a heated pool and 2 hot tubs, and we also have a well-being area on deck 4 that encompasses our fitness studio and our L'Occitane Sea Spa that I mentioned to you already. And I think my favorite place on the ship, I've now sailed on her twice, it has got to be Water's Edge. It's all the way forward at the bow of the ship, so you can actually see it in this photo. All that open deck space at the very front of the ship, that is on deck 5. It's only 30 feet above sea level. It's a really great way for you to kind of connect with where you're going, the destination. It's great for scenic cruising if the weather's nice. It's awesome for whale watching or animal viewing. When I was in Antarctica, we were out there looking for seals and penguins on the sheets of ice that were out there. It's really an amazing thing. I think all too often we get on these big cruise ships that are built bigger and snazzier, but I really like to remember that I'm on a ship and I'm at sea, and small is definitely the way to go. So this is a wonderful place for you to go outside and connect. We actually have heated benches placed out there as well. So in cold water destinations, you can actually stay warm. So it's a really cool element to have. I'm just going to give you a few little pictures and snapshots of some of our accommodations that we have. So what you see on the screen now is some of our suite accommodations. We have 3 different types of suites, and you can reach out to any of your Luxury Cruise Connections advisors for more details on these. Our suites are anywhere from about 400 to 450 square feet around in total. And all 3 different categories of suites offer both a bedroom plus a separate living room area with an exit out onto an extended 106 square foot balcony. And again, all of our suites come with butler service as well. If you're sailing with us in a warm water or non-Antarctica destination, we actually have a handful of solo suites that I will show you a quick picture of here in a minute. And these are much smaller, 183 square feet. They don't have a balcony, but they are solo prices. And again, they're very limited in quantity. So if you're a solo traveler or you like to join a group and you don't have a roommate, that's perfectly fine because we don't want to penalize you for that. We definitely have a handful of staterooms that are available for you as well. Now, the majority of our staterooms are our veranda and our horizon staterooms. The difference really is one has a physical balcony. So you'll see the picture on the left-hand side has an actual sliding glass door. Outside of that sliding glass door, you step outside on a physical veranda that's 52 square feet with your table and chairs. That's for those of you who like to actually sit outside and take in the sights and sounds on your cruises. It's very popular and most people expect those on most cruise ships these days. But my personal favorite is actually the picture that you see on the right-hand side, and that's our horizon. We call it a Juliet-style balcony. Other cruise lines call it a French balcony or an infinity balcony. But what we've done is we've actually replaced your physical balcony with a floor-to-ceiling window. We've incorporated all of that balcony space into the living space of the actual stateroom. And the window itself opens up. So anything, you see the black bar across the middle, anything above that black bar actually comes down. You have a button beside your bed. You can push that, the window goes down, and you have your balcony right there whenever you need it. So you take in the sights and sounds, the fresh air, and then when you're done, you close it, and you've got all the extra living space within the stateroom. So again, my personal favorite are the horizons, but we've got both. It really just depends on your preference. And I mentioned a bit earlier that I would show you a quick pic of our solo suite. So this is a picture of our outside stateroom. They're 183 square feet. Our solo suites, we only have a handful of them, about 4 on our ship, depending on the itinerary. But again, if you're a solo traveler, it's great, and you do get butler service with it as well. So we like to spoil you there. But just a few little quick things to mention about all of our staterooms. They all have queen size beds that can convert into singles as requested. We all have the oversized interactive flat panel TVs in the staterooms as well, that have Bluetooth programming. So if you've got music on your phone you want to listen to, you can always hook that up to your television. We do have USB ports as well. A lot of people ask questions about charging their electronics. There's anywhere from 3 to 5 USB ports depending on the size of your stateroom, plus your 110 and 220 volt plugs as well. So we've got both and plenty, so you don't have to bring a converter and not have to worry about any of that. You do have a fully stocked mini fridge in your stateroom that you can customize with your cabin attendant or your stateroom attendant. They will make sure that it's fully stocked with your favorite sodas, beers, waters, whatever you like, and they'll do that on a daily basis for you as well. Of course, you've got your digital safe. We talked about the L'Occitane products in the restrooms or the bathrooms on board. I think one of the other nice surprises about this style of ship and this class of ship is all of the stateroom bathrooms. They're floor to ceiling marble bathrooms. And in the shower, it's not your ordinary shower that you'd find on a cruise ship. It has a rain shower, it has a handheld option, and it has jets, body jets as well, and a little seat there. So it's really quite a luxurious experience on board the ship, no matter the stateroom category. They all have those same amenities in the bathrooms as well. Of course, you've got your robes and slippers and hair dryer that's provided as well. You've got your daily makeup and turn down service with your amazing stateroom attendants. We do offer 24-hour room service. There is a limited menu that you can access on your in stateroom TV. And of course, I mentioned earlier that complimentary Wi-Fi package so you can stay connected to your family as well. So I just wanted to show you a few little snapshots of the ship and how beautifully it is decorated. These pictures actually just don't do it justice, in my opinion. But the image that you see on the left-hand side is facing our reception desk or our front desk on deck 4. And next to that picture is just one side of our beautiful Porto dining room where the majority of your meals will take place. I did mention earlier that we do have a couple of other places. We have 7 Aft, which is an alternative steakhouse restaurant, but it is outdoors. It's a very casual setting. It does require advanced reservations, but there's no additional charge for that. And that only operates in destinations that have weather that allows us to operate outside. Otherwise, the majority of your meals will be in the Porto dining room, but we do change the menus every single day, have different themes, and you'll really enjoy the food is to die for, and the service is amazing as well. We also have Paula's Pantry, which is kind of our coffee shop, our cafe. We also can make you some really nice fruit smoothies and energy drinks there. And we also have some grab and go items. So it's a great place to grab breakfast or even a light lunch. We'll have salads and small sandwiches there every day too. So we've got a couple different menus for you on board to eat. So what you're looking at here is the Atlas Lounge on the left-hand side, one of our major lounges where we have a lot of beautiful sightseeing that you can do from either side of the ship, but it's also a great gathering spot. We do a lot of hors d'oeuvres here and happy hours, and our captain's reception is in here. Even though we have a captain's reception on board, it's a welcome evening. Again, it's a very casual atmosphere. You don't feel the need to dress up, no formal nights. The image on the right-hand side is walking into our Dome Lounge that's located just up on deck 7, one deck above the bridge. I'm going to show you actually a better picture of it here. This is my favorite. This is the Dome Observation Lounge. Again, it's right above the bridge, 270-degree views, floor-to-ceiling windows. Also a wonderful place to go for scenic cruising. If you don't want to stand outside on water's edge that we talked about before, this is a great alternative. During the day, it's nice and quiet. It gets its name from that beautiful skylight dome there, really bright and sunny and beautiful. We do some events up in here during the day, like high tea. But again, it's mostly a quiet nook during the day. But in the evening, this is where we do our cabaret style entertainment. We have music here every night, an amazing array of bartenders and mixologists there. And it's just a really lively place to go in the evening. So the Dome is pretty much the favorite hangout here on board the ship as well. So let's talk a little bit about what our first ship, World Navigator, is doing currently. So we just literally finished up our final Antarctica sailing, and we are moving over to the Mediterranean. So we're looking forward to some really cool cruises coming up here at the end of middle end of April. into May and June, and we'll be continuing our time in Europe, which was some really very interesting and popular itineraries. So right now, we're making our way over to the Med. We do have some really cool British Isles cruises as well. If you're interested in golf, we have one in particular that has a really great setup if you're interested in golf, because every single destination on that British Isles cruise is no more than 30 minutes drive from a PGA rated golf course, which is great. We do some Arctic expeditions that I mentioned before. We have about 3 of them this summer, going all the way up to Norway, Iceland, and Greenland, which is on a lot of people's bucket lists, and visit the North Cape. And again, those are extremely popular destinations right now. And again, we also utilize our expedition team there and all of our Zodiacs as well. We are doing some Baltic cruises, and yes, we have altered those itineraries to eliminate calls in St. Petersburg, Russia, of course, given the current circumstances. But we do have some really unique itineraries there that originate in Germany, most of them. After our European season, we will be doing another transatlantic cruise to get us back in position to change gears to do our Antarctic expeditions again starting in November. So we do have a transatlantic cruise that will depart in October, and then we'll make our way over to Central and South America. We will do a Panama Canal cruise. We have a couple of really interesting South America cruises to take a look at as well as we make our way down to Ushuaia, Argentina. And again, we'll be in perfect position there to set up our Antarctica season. So speaking of Antarctica, we're actually going to have our second ship, a World Traveler, in addition to World Navigator, join us and make its premiere debut in Antarctica with us this fall. So we're both World Navigator and World Traveler, again, both sister ships, really small, just under 10,000 tons, are both certified for ice exploration. They are both polar category C ships. Their ice class is 1B, and they are really incredible, have a wonderful, take my little survey here. They have a wonderful feel to them, but they really were designed as expedition ships. And you wouldn't necessarily know that from looking at how beautiful they are on the outside. But they are built for that, have amazing stabilizers on board. So when you go across the Drake Passage, you really don't feel it as much as you think you would on a ship that small. It's really actually very impressive the way the ship handles. Like I mentioned before, we have 12 Zodiacs on board, and because we're so small, we have less than 200 guests on board. We can do up to 2 landings per day, and ice cruises as well. So it all depends on the weather. Everything is considered captain's choice, which means that the captain is in touch with all other boats and ships in that area. They exchange information, not just on weather, but also on wildlife and locations, so that they can take you to the best destination, so you have the best experience possible there. No 2 Antarctica cruises are alike, and I don't care what anyone tells you, there is no way that an Antarctica cruise can be plotted out in advance with the exact location. It doesn't work that way. The weather changes every 5 minutes.
So Kathy, actually, I just done a poll asking people if they ever been to Antarctica, and we have 8 people that answered that they've been to. If they're looking to do it again, because I think it's you, if you do it once, you want to do it again, then please reach out to us. You can type it in the chat, or you can privately message me, and one of our expert advisors focused on expedition cruises can reach out to you guys. We have 9 people that actually they want to go. So definitely we want to get in contact with you guys and send you all the options available for you.
Well, just wait till you see some pictures here in a second. I'm going to show you some of my pictures just that I took in January and February of this year. So they're coming up on the next slide here. But all of our fully guided excursions there are included. So all of our Zodiac cruises are fully included in the price, which is great. But we do have some optional excursions too. So for those of you who are a little more adventurous, you want to try kayaking or stand-up paddleboarding or camping overnight on the ice, we have those options available, and you can pre-book those because they are very limited in quantity and they're all weather permitting. We do things like the polar plunge. It's complimentary. That's when you dive into the icy water and we pull you back out. We also have hiking available and snowshoeing. And we're looking to add to some of those more adventurous things in Antarctica too. So stay tuned for more of those coming soon, I think, in our future itineraries coming up. Our expedition team really do make the cruise for Antarctica. It is a completely different experience on board our ships in Antarctica than it is elsewhere, just because the focus is so heavily on the amazing wildlife, the geology, marine biology while you're there. So each of the expedition team members will give talks on their areas of expertise. They're full of naturalists, marine biologists, ornithologists that study birds, geologists that study the land, glaciologists that study the ice. I didn't even know that was such a thing, but it really is. And expert photographers as well that actually give you advice on the best ways to take the most amazing photos and take advantage of your experience there. We try to get you as set up as possible beforehand, because you have to pack very differently for this type of cruise than you would for any other. Never mind formal nights and stuff, because we've already said we don't include those on any of our voyages, but it's just a different type of experience. So you want to make sure that you wear layers. We do have a packing list on our website, but we also provide that to Luxury Cruise Connections to pass that along to you, so that you've got kind of a guide to know what to purchase if you need to in advance and what to bring with you. But you can leave your big heavy coats at home, because we provide a really nice heavy parka with actually a zip out vest that actually super convenient to have. We provide that for you on board the ship, and that's yours to keep as your own souvenir. We also provide you with rubber knee boots that come just above the knees as well. You don't get to keep those. I don't think you want to, but they're perfect for the expeditions, because sometimes when you're doing your landings, you actually do have to step out into cold water and to go ashore. And sometimes, you know, water will get into the Zodiacs as well, and this all prevents you from getting cold and feeling that really icy cold water as well. We provide you, obviously, with all the safety equipment that you need, binoculars that you can use for the duration of the time on board as well. So we try to make sure that you're all set up and ready to go before you go to Antarctica with us. I wanted to show you a few pictures, because I think there's a handful of people that always say, well, what is a Zodiac? So the picture, the top left-hand corner there of about 4 Zodiacs there, kind of all tied together, that's what a Zodiac looks like. We fit about 10 guests on board plus your guide. You board the Zodiac just like you would any other tender going ashore. When you are on a ship at anchor in any other destination, you generally just walk down a set of stairs on the side of the ship. We have your team members and your expedition team there to help you get on and off, but you absolutely have to be somewhat mobile in order to do this cruise and to go ashore with us, or even to get into the Zodiac. So you have to be able to navigate some stairs down on your own. Of course, people are there to help you on each side of you every step of the way, but it really is just a little bit more strenuous than a regular cruise would be, for sure. There's some pictures there. You'll see all of what I call green penguins in the bottom left-hand corner there. Those are the green parkas that we give you. They're bright green and stand out because for safety purposes, we need to make sure we can identify you. There's lots of regulations in Antarctica. You can only you can only have 100 people at a time off the ship on land. So that's why we have those green parkas there as well, so we can identify you and keep up with you. And again, some views from a kayak, some views from the Zodiac, and some beautiful views of our gorgeous ship there. There really is no bad picture to take there. So I'm proud to say that these are all of my photos from my iPhone. No joke. So these aren't professional by any stretch of the imagination, but this should give you an idea of how close you are able to get to the wildlife and how amazing this experience is. I got the shot. I think my favorite is the penguin jumping out of the water. For that one amazing picture with my phone, I was sitting in the Zodiac when I was doing it. I probably have about 50 of just water, trying to get it diving out of the water with his little mouth open. We saw Gentoo penguins, we saw Adelie penguins, and we saw chinstrap penguins there on my trip that I did. Amazing seals. We saw fur seals, leopard seals, Weddell seals, and elephant seals, and they even stuck their tongues out for us and made some funny noises, which was incredible. The icebergs and the glacier ice calving that you hear, that white thunder, is really incredible. I get really excited when I talk about it because it really is a trip of a lifetime, and it's hard to really describe. Even these gorgeous pictures don't do it justice. If there's one piece of advice that I could give to anyone who wants to visit Antarctica, it would be to not be so caught up in taking a picture of every single thing that you see or recording a video of every single thing that you see. Stop, put your cameras away, take it all in, be in the moment, experience the incredible views that you have, but also the sounds. Take in what it sounds like. It's so peaceful and serene. The sounds that the penguins and seals make is so unique and incredible. And just the sounds of the ice and the movements and the glacier calving is really very difficult to describe without you actually being there. And the beautiful thing about Antarctica, even though I know destination focused cruises with Antarctica and Expedition has become a more popular item these days, we aren't able to land in the same place as another ship. So you may see some ships in Ushuaia docks there on either end of your journey, but you're never going to actually be at anchor or in the same area as any other ships there. So you'll always just be you and your small group of people from your ship there in Antarctica, which is great. Now, we do have a current promotion going on right now. You can, again, ask any of your Luxury Cruise Connections advisors about this. It ends at the end of this month, so we only have a few days left for this one. And this is on any sailings that we have available so far. And that is $2,000 savings per stateroom or $1,000 per person. That's our current brand offer, our promotional offers that you'll find out there in the marketplace. And the only trick is you have to use a Luxury Cruise Connections travel advisor in order to get this amazing deal, which is great. But I think we can do a little bit better than that as well. I did want to mention our military exclusive rates. Now, we do offer, because we are a military, our executive team have all been part of the military and are very much passionate about that, and with veterans as well. If you are former, current, reserve, retired military, as long as you have the documents to prove it, we offer a 20% discount off of our best in-market promotional offer. So again, it's great. There's a handful of restrictions that apply. Again, it's not going to apply on the super duper savers sometimes, but it will apply on the most current offer that we have out there. So that's $2,000 off. If you're a veteran, on top of that $2,000 off, you also get a 20% discount. So this promotion never expires. It will always be around for our veterans as a thank you for their service. Right now, and this is the big one that I wanted to bring up, we have a spring sale going on right now. And we actually have, and you can see the starting prices here, these are for a handful of our early on close-in sailings. So if you're ready to go between April and June, let us know, because we've got some incredible, magnificent sailings coming up in Europe. We have a spring sale happening. Now, the spring sale is available to anyone. But what I wanted to throw out there for you, because we partner with Luxury Cruise Connections, they even get a better rate on this than what's advertised on the screen. It is very limited in quantity, so I didn't want to put up all those prices and then have people disappointed because they're not available. But they do have a handful of amazing prices that are significantly lower. So I think the first one for the April 24th price point is just about at $2,000, just under, so per person. And that's an incredible deal while the stateroom capacity still lasts.
Yes. So actually, we have one of the itinerary, the Lisbon to Malaga, that's starting at $19.99, and we only have 10 cabins available. So this is super important that you call us and you book this deal, because once you call us and you book this deal right away, it's good. But if you're waiting for your tickets or any accommodations, then you might lose this deal within an hour, because actually these cabins are selling out very, very fast.
I'm actually going to be on the sailing too. I'm super, it's a beautiful itinerary with Portugal and Spain, and we stop in Gibraltar as well. It's a really great getaway.
Amazing. And the other deals have also an additional 10% savings. So that's on top of what you're seeing here. It's not available to anyone else than Luxury Cruise Connections clients. tickets. And
Correct.
I think that's one of the most important reasons why you should book with us, because you have an excellent agents, advisors that will help you to your trip. We have an excellent concierge department that will help you from booking your tickets to any excursions that you may need. Kathy, you say why it's, it's always better to book with Luxury Cruise Connections.
I mean, that's why we gave you the deal, right? Because we know that you have experts, that your advisors are top of the line and do their research. And I have to say, in working with Luxury Cruise Connections, I've been very proud to work with them, because their advisors don't give me a break. They'll come to me and say, but I need this, but I need that, and what about this? They really are an advocate for their clients. So they do come back to us with questions. They want to make sure that they've got everything, all their I's dotted and T's crossed. And I think that really says a lot about this company, which is one of the reasons that we chose them to help promote our latest sale for Europe as well. And again, like Denise said, this is an exclusive deal that you can only get through Luxury Cruise Connections. If you were to go anywhere else to get this deal, you're going to get the prices you see on the screen. But if you go with Luxury Cruise Connections, it's actually going to be less, which is an awesome reason to book with them too.
Actually, we just launched a new poll asking if people have done business with us in the past. And actually 50% did, 50% did not. So that's one of the reasons why we want to hear from our partners, more importantly than ourselves, because there's nothing better than you guys saying it from your own words. Thank you so much. Sure. We appreciate it.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely true. I think, we like to work with the professional ones that know what they're doing. I think that makes a big difference, and it helps us out as well. And they're very reputable, which always makes our jobs at the cruise lines a lot easier too. But in addition, if you're getting excited about Antarctica, I didn't want to leave that out, because we've got that incredible sale going on for kind of closer in Europe sailings. We also work with Luxury Cruise Connections for Antarctica too, because that's such a big part of our product that we offer. So I've actually listed all of our trips for our November through March season. So November of this year through March of 23, we're going to have 2 ships this year in Antarctica for expedition cruising. And the ones that you see highlighted in green on the screen, we have actual group space set up with Luxury Cruise Connections. And these sailings, again, have not only a special rate, but also some extra amenities too, like a shipboard credit, or champagne and that type of thing. So we really try to make it a little bit special, add some amenities to it, and give Luxury Cruise Connections just a little bit of a competitive edge there on the pricing because of our relationship there. So if you have any interest in doing any of these Antarctica voyages, please reach out to your Luxury Cruise Connections advisors and ask them about the departure dates that they have these special pricing on. We have other dates available. You can always ask them about those, but these are the ones that we think probably will make you happier, because you'll get a little bit of extra special pricing and extra special treatment on those as well. And we're really looking forward to the season. We've already had, because of such a successful early season this year, our first season in Antarctica, I think people are posting pictures online, and they're really loving what they're seeing, and it really is a bucket list destination. And we've had kind of a rush, I'd say, in the last 3 to 4 weeks of Antarctica bookings. So you want to make sure that you reach out as soon as you can for availability for some of these sailings, especially if you have any inclination to go this upcoming season that starts in November. I mean, it's going to be here before you know it, but we really have had, it's been really popular, I'd say, just in the last few weeks or so. And I think that's as a result of people really seeing some of these pictures. We were one of very limited cruise lines that were actually able to sail this season in Antarctica, which made it kind of nice and extremely popular as well. But if you have any questions, I really appreciate your time. I don't want to take up too much of it, but wanted to just say thank you and see if there's anything that I can help you with, answer questions about the line itself. I know this is kind of a little taste, and take things from there.
Yeah, actually, thank you so much, Kathy. It was an incredible presentation. I think We every day you learn a little bit more about Atlas and the itineraries. We have a couple of questions in the chat, and I also receive a couple questions through my email. We have Christine Maggi asking, what excursions are available from each port?
So it depends on the itinerary. Right now, when we first launched our product about almost a year and a half ago, we were including excursions and round trip airfare in the price. We decided at the beginning of this year to alter that and remove the air component and the shore excursions component in order to lower the price. My puppy. In order to lower the price, and also in order to give people more flexibility in their flight choices and also in their excursion choices as well. So we do offer shore excursions. There's an array depending on the itinerary. Again, they'll go from your typical panorama overview tours to walking tours to culinary experiences, wine tastings and such. And then we've got those more adventurous tours, like I mentioned before. It all depends on the port of call, what they have available and what the thing is to do there. But we've got diving, we've got hang gliding and skydiving in some locations. We've got hot air balloon rides in others. We've got camping on the ice in Antarctica. We've got, of course, kayaking and bike riding and all kinds of adventure type things available too. But we really have a little something for everyone. Our excursions range from your more moderate to your more adventurous. And then we also have some that are for those who are just kind of interested in getting that overview feel of the destination.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Kathy and Christine. I hope that answered your question. I don't see her anymore. Art Molliver, who's our client of ours, was asking if there will be a golf themed cruise scheduled.
Yes, absolutely. We actually have one. That's our British Isles cruise. And that one is our London to Dublin cruise. It's a 13-night, and it is considered a golf theme, although the golf is not included in the price. You would have to book that on your own, but it is a 13-night London to Dublin that takes place on June 17th. It's super popular right now, I think, not just for the golf itself, but just because of all the ports that it visits. It goes to all these amazing places in Ireland, and then also makes a couple of stops in other areas of the UK. I think what is so fascinating to me is that our ship is so small that we are actually able to dock at Tower Bridge right downtown London, which is awesome. So it's a great opportunity there, and we will have golf available in each of those ports of call that have those golf courses nearby for purchase if they want, or if you wanted to do it on your own, you certainly could do that as well.
Amazing. Joanne Kersner is asking us if are vaccinated passengers allowed?
At this time, you must be fully vaccinated in order to sail on any of our cruises. Things keep changing day by day, so we're not sure if that policy will be relaxed in the near future, but we can certainly keep Luxury Cruise Connections abreast of that situation in case anything changes. But as of right now, you must be fully vaccinated to travel with us.
Thank you, Kathy. Rita LaBelle is asking us if we can give more information on the Arctic expedition cruises like Sengir, etc., same as Antarctica.
Correct.
I know Rita works with Steve Goko. I saw he was here on our Zoom Q&A. So, and she has a booked cruise with Atlas right now.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, so for the Arctic, it is the same setup. We do utilize our Zodiacs in the same way we do in Antarctica. We do provide all of the same gear for you as well, including the parkas that you can take home as a souvenir. And we'll provide that packing list, which is almost identical to the one in Antarctica. The major differences between the Arctic and the Antarctic is kind of the landscape. The Arctic is much wider, and although You can see lots of wildlife. You do have the opportunity to see some different types of wildlife there, but the wildlife is much more abundant or in smaller, closer quarters in Antarctica than it is in the Arctic. You kind of have to go hunting for it sometimes in the Arctic. People often ask, do you see polar bears? In the Arctic, you have the possibility of seeing them. They are elusive. They are not in Antarctica, actually. The word itself, Antarctica, means no bear. So you're not going to see polar bears in Antarctica, but in the Arctic, you have that opportunity. Also see some penguins, lots of whales, birds, some caribou, if you're lucky, and some Arctic foxes as well. So different types of wildlife can be viewed in the Arctic. We actually have 3 cruises this summer that depart from Longyearbyen up in Norway, and will take you all around to see some really interesting sites in the Arctic. We try to do the same thing when it comes to expedition trips on the Zodiacs themselves. We try to do as many landings as we can, but in most cases in the Arctic, it's a lot of Zodiac cruises around to look. You don't have necessarily as many landings as you would in Antarctica. And there's some differences in the landscape and what you're going to see. In Antarctica, you see a lot of ice sheets. You don't see those in the Arctic. So there are some differences, but in terms of the gear and how we set you up for that, it's very similar in both polar regions.
Good, great. Actually, Rita sent me an email earlier today, and she was asking us about the level of internet that will be available on board, and if it requires payment, what are the rates?
So like I mentioned before, we have kind of what I call the introductory package. It's not really called that on board, but I think it's a good way to phrase it. It is the basic package, and that is complimentary. It's up to 1 gig per guest in each stateroom. And you each have a code that you log into when you're there. I've sailed a couple of times, and so I've gotten really good at figuring out how to save your internet if you're not looking to spend a ton of money. You want to turn off all of your background app refreshes and things that update automatically, because that really drains your phone. I think when we're here at home and you've got wireless Wi-Fi and all of that, you don't really think so much about it. And so all these apps that you don't really use on a regular basis are constantly updating and refreshing in the background. So if you turn all of that off, and if you don't stream videos and you're not sending large files or large videos, you can actually make that last a pretty long time for almost the full cruise, if not for the full cruise. If you're doing things like a lot of emailing, if you have videos that you want to stream, if you want to send a large amount of photos and big photos and small videos that you take, you're probably going to look at upgrading your packages, and they start, the lowest package that you can purchase starts at $80. That may vary depending on the length of the cruise as well. Both cruises I did were 9 nights, so our packages started around $80, and they can go up from there. I didn't need to tap into mine. I was fine with just keeping in touch, messaging friends and family. WhatsApp works really well there. iMessage is spotty, funny enough, but WhatsApp is great there for keeping in touch with your family. So I found that it worked out really well. If you're going to places like the Arctic and Antarctica, I don't care where you are, what cruise line you're on, the internet is going to be spotty. It's kind of like, I liken it a little bit to going on an African safari. There are places in this world where the internet is not always going to be what you're used to it being at home, plus you're on a ship. So people have to understand, when you go this far away, I know you want to stay connected, and you absolutely will stay connected with friends and family. If you're expecting to be able to work from home and set up shop like you normally do from home, you're going to be disappointed here and there, because it's just, that's the way it works. We're working on satellite there. It is what it is. So I find the internet to be just fine. Again, we do have those packages that you can upgrade to. My recommendation is to not start off by purchasing a package. Use what you have first and it'll shut you off when you run out of juice, and then you can go and easily purchase. They'll give you another code. You just upload that and log in, and you're right back where you need to be.
Perfect. Thank you so much. I don't know if we have anyone that has an additional question. I know Rita sent me other questions regarding that were already answered. What onboard credit, onboard services are included in the initial cruise fare. Internet, as we already discussed, laundry, spa services, alcoholic beverages. Anyone else has a question, we can open mics if anyone wants to talk.
I see one question that says, is the Arctic cruise just as strenuous as Antarctica? I would say they're comparable there, because you do have to, again, boarding the Zodiacs is going to be the exact same process. You do have to be able to navigate some stairs down. I do have to say that the stairs that we take to get onto the Zodiacs are the same ones that we use for our tender service and other ports of call. Those stairs aren't very wide. I find them to be kind of short. So even without any sort of strenuous activity or any sort of mobility issues, you do have to kind of be careful when you're going down those stairs just in general. But you have to navigate some stairs on your own with handrails, and you do have to make some large steps over a Zodiac and be somewhat steady on your feet. That's definitely a requirement for any expedition cruise that you'll do. Again, there's people there to help you on both sides of you at every step of the way, but you definitely want to make sure that you're okay walking. And once you're on land, when you do a landing, it's really up to you how strenuous an activity you'd like to do. You know, in Antarctica specifically, but it's also the same in the Arctic. You can hike up a snow-covered glacier if you'd like, or you can just stay and view the wildlife and the surrounding areas right close by to the Zodiac. So it's really up to you. We do have expedition team members who go out beforehand. They scope out the territory. They'll make the call whether or not it's safe enough to actually land or not. And if it is, then they'll set out sometimes cones around so that you know where you can and can't go. And they'll also station expedition team members along the way, not just to point out where you can go and keep an eye on everyone, but also to give you information about where you are, maybe some history. You know, we were able to stop at very different types of places. Everywhere we stopped was very different in terms of landscape. We stopped in an active volcano once where it was ash-covered glaciers. So everything looked like a completely different planet. It had no snow and no wildlife. Another where there were thousands of penguins everywhere. And then another where there were elephant seals on every step of the way. And so we do have our expedition team members there keeping an eye on the wildlife and you, so you don't get so close to it, but also giving you interesting information about things like the stations that were built there, or the geology and some of the wildlife that are there. So that will also take place in the Arctic as well. But like I said, there's going to be a lot more landings and getting off of the Zodiacs and walking around in Antarctica than there are in the Arctic. But you'll get just as great of an experience in those locations.
Perfect. Actually, we have more questions. Is there a self-serve laundry? Cheryl just asked.
There is not. So we didn't actually build an actual self-service laundry on the ship. It's a really small ship. And we do have laundry service available on board for a fee. And we'll have that laundry bag available in your stateroom, and you just present that, put everything in your bag and present that to your stateroom attendant if you need to do laundry. There is no dry cleaning on board either. We just don't have the facility. Again, we're a really small ship, but we do have the laundry service available for those for a charge.
Is cigarette smoking permitted on board? Is there's a connoisseurs club room?
We don't have a connoisseurs club, and the only designated area for cigarette or cigar smoking would be in one area of the outer deck on deck 7. So we have one designated area up by our pool deck area for any sort of smoking, but it's not allowed indoors or in your stateroom.
Awesome. Is there a nurse or a doctor on board?
Yes, we have both on board, and we have a really amazing state-of-the-art medical facility for a small ship. I was very kind of impressed by the large infirmary area that we do have, and it's right there on deck 4. Normally, we wouldn't see the infirmary a whole lot, but given the current state of the world with our pandemic, those times that I've failed, we've had to go there to get COVID testing. So I was able to actually see the facilities, which were really nice. So yes, we do have a very capable doctor and nurse on board, as well as a really nice state-of-the-art facility with multiple rooms.
Awesome. Awesome. I think we don't have more questions. We can still open the mics, and if anyone wants to ask an additional question, if they have anything to say, we're here. It's 4:00. I don't know, Kathy, if you have anything after, but if not, we're here for any questions that you guys may have.
Sure. I just want to say thanks to everybody for attending today. It was lovely to talk about our product. And hi, Soul, I see you. But it's really great to see everyone. And I really appreciate the time that you've taken out of your day to learn a little bit about Atlas. Thanks so much.
No, we really appreciate everyone joining us. For us, it's a pleasure having this type of events and having Atlas here as well. This exclusive deal that we have with you guys going on, it's amazing. Even your ongoing sale, it's really good, and we have a lot of clients that took advantage of it because it's huge and it's ending at the end of the month.
Yeah, the current sale too going on for Europe is awesome. Like I said, I'm sailing from Lisbon to Malaga on April 24th. So I'm super excited about that voyage and really looking forward to that. I think it's going to be a really awesome opportunity. I think now, travel is definitely coming back. People are excited to travel again, but it's still not crowded. It's still a really good time to go because
this is the best time to go.
It really is.
This is the best time, definitely the best time to go. Okay,
sure.
We definitely thank everyone for their time. And thank you so much for joining us.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Sorry, Kathy.
Sure.
On June 17th, that is you mentioned it's a golf itinerary. With the golfing, do we partner with a golf company, or when they reach to the port, there's individual private golf company that guest will arrive?
It's similar to any other shore excursion. So we actually partner with different tour operators that are able, or golf companies that are able to provide us with access to these different golf clubs. The golf courses themselves will also most likely have packages that will encompass the caddies, and if you have your own clubs, if you need to rent clubs, if you want to do different options there. So we'll have those available, hopefully fairly soon. I should check to see. I don't think we're quite there yet, but it's coming. I know that we're slowly but surely posting all of our, hang on, maybe we do have.
So what we can do is definitely send an email to our clients regarding the golf, because I think it's a really, if you're into golf, this is an amazing opportunity to go.
For sure, yeah.
I'm not gonna say it's once in a lifetime experience, but it's once in a year experience.
Oh yeah, absolutely, that too. And fingers crossed for great weather for that itinerary. I know that area of the world is known for its clouds, but it's still an absolutely beautiful destination to visit with all the green and all of that. So.
Amazing. Okay, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you for your time. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. We're here to help anything you need.
For sure. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.